Hi, my name is Henry Dong. I'm currently a third year here at Berkeley. I'm majoring in molecular and cell biology and cognitive science. And my three amazing vice chairs are going to be Octavio, Habiba, and Annalise. So I chose this committee because it really kind of aligns with a lot of my own interests. But I also think one of the themes that I really wanted to emphasize across both topics in the committee is this idea of sustainability for the future, because a lot of the issues that we're going to be discussing in committee are really problems that we're going to see in our lifetimes. So within the next 50 years, for example, our population growth is expected to increase by billions, which creates problems, for example, in the food security topic, where it becomes an issue if we can really adequately provide for all of these, the entire population of the world, when it's currently a problem now. And kind of looking to the future, look at things like climate change and sustainability, biodiversity, and ecosystems, it's really, I think it becomes really relevant to us to kind of understand what's going on. And as far as the education topic, I think, education is one of my own passions, but it's also just a really basic human right. And unfortunately, across the world, universal education doesn't exist, which it should, because really everyone deserves that right to an education. But more than just that, education provides kind of the backbone for economic stability in a country and spurring that kind of growth within a country. And so providing that education is really important to ensure that nations everywhere across the world really have the potential for growth. So as you begin your research, I think for the agricultural and food security topic, I think it's really important to come with a very solutions-oriented mindset, because we are UNESCO, and one of our main pillars is science, and science really offers a lot in terms of potential solutions for the food security issue. So food security kind of can be broken down into improvements in policy and improvements in science. So for example, looking at agrobiotechnology and looking at genetic engineering and genetic modification, these offer a lot of insights into how we can improve the output of our agricultural yield without drastically reducing biodiversity or drastically taking away a lot of arable land. So kind of look into these papers, scientific literature if you can. It's really interesting to see what comes up and what the kind of research that scientists are doing. And then kind of understanding also what are the effects of agricultural sustainability and food security. So for example, really when we look at things historically like the Egyptian bread riots, or our current case study in Somalia, like the current drought and famine, creating a weak environment and a vulnerable area for political instability and for terrorist groups to really come into the area. Food security ties into a lot of other issues that extend just or beyond just malnutrition, which is something people don't always think about. And so really there's a lot of factors at play, and food security in fact even ties into education, because we see that there's a correlation between malnutrition and poverty and ultimately low education rates. So for the educational topic, I think it's really important to, when you start going through your research, to kind of understand the causes of these barriers as opposed to the effects, which is what we talked about in the food security topic, but really understand how the causes are kind of interconnected in a way. So, and how they're not so black and white. So for example, when we look at the gender disparity or the other social barriers, including disabled children not having universal primary education, it's not as simple as just saying, oh, let's send more girls to school, or let's send more disabled children to school, or let's build more schools for women, because there's a lot of underlying cultural issues and cultural stigmas at play. And so kind of taking that into consideration, how can we develop effective frameworks to ensure that really everyone does have universal primary education. I'm really excited.